Yo, what's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we're going to be talking about some more Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Big surprise there. Now, I'm actually very excited to bring you guys this video because I've got some pretty exclusive information. It's something that not a lot of people are going to have and not a lot of people got to experience, and I'm happy that I'm able to share it with you guys. So, at E3 this past week, obviously Activision had a booth, and they had like this enormous, like, 100 million thousand-inch screen that like wrapped around the thing. You can see it on screen right here. Like, it was absolutely crazy. And on that screen, that was like the public thing that they showed to everybody, and they kind of showed the trailer that was uploaded to YouTube where the soldiers were in the pod that shot down to seal South Korea, and they were fighting on the streets, things like that. It was mostly gameplay that we'd seen. There was a couple of different things that we hadn't seen before, like going into the background of the characters and stuff, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Like, most of that stuff you had seen on YouTube. Now, I was lucky enough to be able to be invited back into like this back private viewing session room, like back inside the Activision booth. They're only like press and PR and things get invited into, and it was like this theater room, and it had like a bunch of chairs in there and this giant freaking screen, like a projector screen on the wall, and like crazy bass and all that kind of stuff. And we were able to watch a second campaign mission that not a lot of people have seen. So that's what I want to explain to you guys today, because it was actually very, very cool, and we've actually seen like a few different parts of it, like in the trailer, if you guys remember, when there was that big explosion and the bridge kind of like started falling apart, the Golden Gate Bridge, and everything was kind of falling down into the water. That's the whole mission that I saw. Like, I saw kind of everything that led up to that, and it was really, really cool, so I want to share it with you guys, because it's something not a lot of people have seen. So anyway, the mission is called Collapse, and it starts off that you and another character, the beanie character that we've seen a lot of, he has that gray beanie on. I think his name is Hesh. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Hesh. So it's you, Private Mitchell, and Hesh, and you're sitting in this like giant, armored truck on this highway, and you're just kind of sitting there, and then all of a sudden, this van, like an enemy van, comes racing by you, and you've got to hightail it out of there, and you got to catch up to him. You're chasing him down this highway, you're bobbing and weaving in between, traffic on your end of the street, and then sometimes you have to go in oncoming traffic. It was really, really crazy, and all this while, you're shooting these like directed energy blasts. That's kind of like a power weapon you would expect out of Halo. Like, it's this thing that kind of shoots from above your head, and it shoots this like blue beam of light, and you keep trying to hit him and take him out, and he's got kind of like little henchmen that are around him. You're taking him out. It's really, really cool, and it's all in Call of Duty action. Like, there's a lot of chaos. Like, at one point, he gets next to the semi, and you shoot him, and then it hits the semi. The semi turns over. It's one of the gas semis. It blows up, and then to avoid that, you have to like swerve into a little construction lane. You're like plowing through all these different, fences and all kinds of craziness, and you make your way back onto the highway, and then you swerve into oncoming traffic. It's really, really crazy. And this entire time, you're the one that's actually driving. It's not like you're just along for the ride. It's not like you're just aiming the gun. You're actually driving, which is really, really cool. And on this highway, it's pretty much the highway leading up to the Golden Gate Bridge, which is kind of like a spoiler alert for the end of it. So anyway, eventually you end up crashing, and you kind of tumble, and then you end up upside down. You kind of like black out for a second, and then you come back to, and you're crawling out of this, destructed truck that's upside down. And again, you're still with Hesh. I think a couple of other guys meet up with you, and it's like this huge traffic jam, and there's civilians everywhere. They're like running for their lives, and obviously you don't want to shoot them, so you just kind of advance up with your team on foot, and there's enemies everywhere. Like, they're hiding behind cars, they're up on the road signs, they're all over the place, so you're taking people out left and right. There's a lot of them. You have this AR, and at first it looks like it's just a red dot side of the AR, and then he flips something up kind of like in a variable zoom fashion to where it's a more magnified version of the red dot sight. So maybe that's an attachment that we might see in multiplayer. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, you just kind of continue pushing up. Eventually he pulls out one of those smart grenades. We saw it in the original trailer, and in that trailer there was a frag option, there was a smart option, and then there's an option that showed enemies behind cover. Well, on this one it had an EMP option and a flash option. So that's like 5 different options at least on these smart grenades in this game, which is kind of cool. So he uses that. Then eventually he whips out a grenade launcher that looks exactly like the War Machine from Black Ops 2, where it's kind of like a revolver style. You can keep on shooting. So that's kind of cool. Maybe that'll be a kill streak. We're not sure. Eventually you rip off a car door and kind of use it as a riot shield. You're walking around. I don't know how much sense that makes. I feel like you can shoot through car doors, but that's just me. And then also eventually you take out this laser rifle that we kind of saw in the trailer as well, and you use that on the drones, and it's actually very, very effective against these like little drone things that are flying around. So that's kind of cool. And then eventually he throws the car door off into the distance like a freaking maniac. Like, you know, you guys know how, you know, we have these exoskeleton suits, so they give us a lot of strength. He like heaves this car door like farther than any human ever could. I thought it was kind of cool. I'm not sure if you can throw it at enemies and you can like kill people with it, but he just kind of like heaved it off into the distance. So I don't know. It was kind of cool how he did it, and I can't wait to see if we can like frisbee car door people in this game. That'd be pretty cool. Now, next up, this is something that's really, really crazy, and this is one of the things that I really want to tell you guys about. Eventually, I'm not sure how he did it. I'm sure it's like some sort of button combination, but he went into like this slow-mo ability. Like, he hopped up on top of this bus, and then he was jumping up on top of one of the like big green road signs that tells you, you know, which lane to be in if you want to exit and things like that. And he goes into this like super slow-mo ability, and everything's kind of slowed down, and then he's shooting enemies, and it's all like goosh, 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 goosh. It's a drrrr, you know, so that was a good analogy, Trev. But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. So there's some sort of slow-mo ability, kind of like, you know, Franklin's driving skills in GTA 5 or something like that, that you can use in the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare campaign. Not sure if that's going to make it into multiplayer. It might. But anyway, you kind of pretty much take everybody out, and you see more civilians, and it kind of like cuts to the next scene that says in the interest of time. You know, it doesn't want to show the whole level. And you get to pretty much like the middle of the bridge where it's just you and the enemies, and this van is still there. And they're all getting out of their cars, and they're putting their guns on the ground. They're putting their hands up in the air, and it looks like they're surrendering. You know, they're getting down the ground. So your kind of like squad leader dude tells you like, Mitchell, get over there, go check that van. So you go over there, you pull out this kind of like little welder thing, and you start, you know, opening up the door, and then all of a sudden the doors burst open, and this giant like tube of drones come out, and all these drones start going crazy. They all fly up in the air, then they all fly to the support beams of the bridge. They attach themselves to them, and they blow it up, and then that's when things go absolutely nuts. The bridge starts falling into the water, and there's all kinds of like cars and people and stuff sliding down. Like, it was actually pretty brutal. Like, there was one of your friendly soldiers, he was on like the left side of the bridge, and you're watching him, and he's like, you know, asking you for help or something like that, and then all of a sudden this big ass bus comes sliding down the bridge and lands right on top of him, and then knocks him down in the water. So it was like, that would be a really brutal way to die. It was kind of sad to see, but it was also kind of funny. So yeah, you like kind of typical Call of Duty fashion, you almost fall off, but you catch yourself, and then you got another teammate sliding down. He almost falls off, but you catch him with like the barely tip of his hand, and you pull him back up, and then you guys stand up, and then I think Hash, you know, says something really kind of patriotic and, you know, whatever, and then that's kind of where the mission ends. So yeah, it was a pretty epic mission. Like, the entire Golden Gate Bridge got destroyed by a bunch of drones, and then all kinds of stuff was falling down, and, you know, the chase scene was absolutely epic. The fact that you were driving the entire time was really, really cool. And yeah, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it, and it was really fun. Like, I feel like the campaign's going to be really cool here, and it kind of, you know, stayed to the same kind of trend that we saw in the multiplayer, or in the single player trailer, I'm sorry, to where there wasn't like a lot of stuff on your screen. Like, you know, you felt like you were actually behind the eyes of that character. You didn't as much feel like you're in a video game, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there you guys have it. That is the collapse mission that I was able to see from E3 this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I was able to kind of explain that a little bit for you guys. And you know, as for multiplayer stuff we could take out of that, again, there might be some sort of like variable zoom red dot sight for ARs. There's 2 more, you know, kind of smart grenade options that we found out this time. There's not just the frag, the enemy locator, and the smart grenade, but now there's the EMP and the flash as well. There was a grenade launcher in the campaign that might be a kill streak, that might be some sort of secondary weapon, and then also there was the slow-mo ability that I'm not sure if that's going to make it into multiplayer as well. I doubt it will, but we'll have to wait and see. So no, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out what the YouTube is. Seen yet? Peace out, guys.